In any case, thank you for being here. I know it's a dreary night, but I usually start these things by asking for a show of hands on how many people actually have the cable company. And that gets a predictable response, and so I thought I'd change that a little bit. And really, raise a question in people's minds. How many consumers today feel they get a fair shake from the media companies in terms of whether it's a cable company or networks, but the idea that you have to pay a tremendous amount for a very small, that you really get amount of things that you really get value out of seems really unfair. And that is the foundation of Aereo. Aereo is a company that was started. I'll try to speak that up. Aereo is a company that was started by me and a few of my colleagues that are present here today, very much to go after and create an alternative to what a monopoly system that we're forced to today. And we think of Aereo as a company that is enabling you to get simple, essential television for just $8 a month without a cable connection, without a commitment, without boxes, cords, or any of those kinds of things. And we think it's a great mission. I obviously missed that book, The Lean Startup, because it is not a lean startup. We are an infrastructure company. We're building out this infrastructure to enable people to have television access market by market. We just announced Boston's our second market. We announced 22 additional markets. And how do we do this? This little device in my hand, this is the creation that started Aereo. It's essentially a full-bore ATSC antenna. It's the equivalent of the big antenna that you used to put on top of your roof, except it doesn't go in your roof. We build millions of these things into the cloud in each city that we go into. And what you do is get access to that along with a DVR-like capability in the cloud, on the internet, and it's for you alone, exclusive use, and you have the ability to watch all free-to-air television in high definition on any device that you get for $8 a month, right? And which is why we've caused a lot of controversy, which is good, I think. But I take comfort in the fact that it is sound policy. It is based on the one key focus that I and my company have, which is consumers. And I figured out that that's the right way to build this company because nobody else seems to care about the consumers, right? Everybody else is focused on how much money they can make. We, on the other hand, know that the only way we're going to succeed is focus on that consumer. So that's sort of the mission of the company. Figured we'd show you what this product looks like. This is an iPad implementation of Aereo. It's a browser-based application. And here, a colleague of mine will drive a Roku-based application. They're all connected essentially to the same cloud-based implementation that Aereo has. It's a very magazine-like feel in this particular case. You get an electronic program guide, date and time and what shows on at a given time. So for example, along with that, you also get a DVR. So all your recordings that you create are available to you on any device that you're on the cloud. So for here, and this, by the way, full disclaimer, this is the first time we are showing the Boston implementation. We just got done about 8 hours ago, and we're going to, the technology has been functional in New York. We've got a tremendous amount of satisfied customers, but Boston's today is the first implementation. On the 15th, we've had a very loyal following that is pre-registered, so we're going to let those people have access to Aereo on the 15th, and 30th of May we will open it up to general public. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press watch, and what this is going to do is sends an impulse to my antenna, which is in Somerville, Mass. We have a data center there. It attunes the antenna to the appropriate frequency, starts the video, goes through the cloud-based system, DVR. Normally it takes about 6 seconds because it's an early implementation. It's about 10 seconds, and you get video. And what you'll notice, first and foremost, is the quality. It's high definition. This is on the internet. There's no buffering. There's no cat swinging from the chandeliers. It's a real television, as you might expect. It's a DVR. I can press pause, continue play. If I want, I can go look at my recordings. For example, I recorded the PBS NewsHour prior to that. I can press play on that, and that'll terminate the live stream that I was watching. It's a classic standard DVR, so you can watch and record at the same time as well. And the thing that we're very excited about is the quality of picture that comes through over the screen. And Chris, if you could start a show, and that's a 40-inch screen or whatever, 42-inch screen. All right, I think we're done with the demo.
This is basically all over again. It's really like paging. It's collecting the pops and valuing the pops. But the payoff on the pops isn't trading the company in consolidation. The trade-off here is being able to go to the content creators and say, license me. When do you get the content creators to cross the MSO and big broadcaster ticket line?
Well, I think you're seeing the beginnings of that with Netflix's House of Cards. That's the starting point, that's the early indication. Cost of production is coming down, but you're absolutely right. This is an industry that has 3 layers of artificial reaggregation built into it. Watch any cable channel, it's unwatchable because they got 20 minutes of commercials on a 40-minute block, which is essentially rotating every 4 hours. Who's paying for it? You, because you watch 7 channels, right? So that day happens. The key point is create a platform that people can aggregate on and then open it up to everybody else.
How many years before it breaks?
You know, I'm just a newbie, you know, what am I to guess? One of the guys that's a main guy in this industry is a guy named John Malone. He was on CNBC last week saying his sense is 3 to 5 years is when the bundle goes away.
Yes. This is being for filmmakers.
Sorry?
Filmmakers. How do content providers like filmmakers benefit from your technology?
I think what Aereo will enable is an aggregation point for consumers. And I think as that aggregation starts happening, and you know, once we're in 22 cities, which roughly it puts 90 million eyeballs in front of it, you can start thinking about what this becomes is a marketing platform to reach these people because they're aggregated at the same time. And you will see us do some announcements soon, which will be bringing new, interesting content. You know, I particularly like sports news movies. That's my definition of television. Sports, there's plenty on broadcast. About 85% of sports happens to be on broadcast. News, there's some, not great. We did a deal with Bloomberg to bring Bloomberg onto, because we think news is an important category. We'll make some announcements soon in which we'll bring more news content in. The next step after that's going to be released.
So when you provide a service, is there a chance that we as a subscriber would be Jim, my neighbor, wants to tap into whatever structure I'm accessing, and my neighbor basically steal my service?
No, it's isolated. Everybody gets their own antenna, exclusive circuit at all times, and that's sort of the beauty of the system. And really, we can do this now at the cost we are because of the cloud technologies that we've built. They include antennas, transcoding, streaming systems. Everything is built by Aereo here in Boston, by the way, in downtown. If anybody's interested in a gig, we're looking for a lot of people. Yes?
What do you think of Fox's direct to pull their content from?
You know, I think of that, again, you know, I'm sort of the no man in the totem pole and engineer, but I look at it in a much more practical sense. And the practical sense I have is the following two. Number one, the broadcast spectrum was granted to program in public interest and convenience. 54 million Americans today, according to NAB, take over-the-air signal in some way, shape, or form using an antenna, right? So to say that little old Aereo is causing, I think the bigger problem is the rate increases that keep happening, right? Every year you raise the rate $7, $10 a month. I'm not the problem. The problem is the business model. Yes?
This might be a very naive question, but is it like Netflix if I travel to another country and I know something to access the computer?
No, it is geolocked. So it is currently geolocked to your home territory. Yes?
What's the exit strategy? And have you been offered to take this money and stop doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I've done that before. One of the realizations I had was you go through a very deep depression after you sell your company, right? You look at your bank balance, you're kind of happy about that, then you look at what you're doing, and you're like, nah. So this is, you know, and you seek a meaningful enterprise, and this, fortunately, is a meaningful enterprise. So the goal is, hopefully there is no exit. I think last question. Yes?
Have you been sued yet?
I think it's probably the most covered company in that spectrum. We were sued, and we won. Then they appealed, and we won that too. So this is a classic prevail. They continue to prevail on its merits, and that's the key point. Thank you.